Welcome back to the channel. Today we explore the emotional story behind the American country music legend Waylon Jennings. He was not only a musical icon, but also endured 4 marriages, 6 children, a battle with drugs, and a tragic end that shocked the music industry. Inside his abandoned Arizona home, many secrets are revealed, from unlikely memorabilia to the value of his estate. Learn about the life journey and timeless legacy of Waylon. Do you know any of your friends or family who have listened to Waylon Jennings? If so, leave a 1, if not, comment a 0. Don't forget to watch the whole video, like and subscribe to the channel to support me in continuing to share interesting stories about music legends. It was a hot summer day in Littlefield, Texas. Red dust covered the front steps, and the air was heavy with hot iron. A boy named Juan Arnold Jennings was born in a rundown house with a tin roof that creaked as the wind blew across the prairie. He was born on June 15, 1937, in the midst of the Great Depression. Juan was greeted not with applause, but with a weary sigh from his father, who was struggling to figure out how to make a meal out of cornmeal. His father was a mechanic, his hands always covered in grease. His mother's lullabies drowned out the wind whistling through the cracks in the door. In a house with only 2 rooms and an old radio, Juan grew up surrounded by the smell of wood smoke, sweat, and the broken notes of local country music. It was the only sound that gave him hope, the only thing poverty couldn't take away. Juan was a quiet boy, always listening. He was a kid who would sit staring out the classroom window, dreaming of a world where no one would criticize his worn hat. A distant dream, but one that never died. Because every night after the rest of the family had gone to sleep, he would sit by the half-open window, his ear pressed close to the radio, trying to eavesdrop on the world outside that he had never touched. One day, Juan's grandfather, a mandolin player in local bars, gave him an old wooden instrument with a cracked neck and said, "This is all you need. If it doesn't get you anywhere, at least it will get you out of here." That sentence later became a silent prophecy following Juan throughout his life, like a silent ghost. No one remembers exactly when it was said or by whom, only that it planted a nameless feeling in his heart. Music came not as a grand dream, but as a saving hand pulling him out of emptiness. Before graduating from high school, Juan began playing music by instinct and memory. No textbooks, no lessons, no guidance. Just him, his old guitar, and the sounds in his head. His world was not built by theory. Juan couldn't read music and didn't care to learn it. He believed that the human ear could distinguish every nuance of sound if he listened long enough. What others learned in class. Juan learned from the radio, from cassette tapes, from memories of repeated listening. He didn't think of himself as an artist, much less of fame or performing. For him, singing was a way to keep his mind from being swallowed by silence. During sleepless nights, his voice rang out like a flickering lamp in the darkness. Each note was an School didn't hold Juan back for long, because it never made him feel like he belonged. The tests, boring classes, and strict rules only made him feel trapped. Instead, the small radio in his bedroom was a source of hope and connection. Through the waves, he learned other worlds' artists he'd never met but whose tunes he knew by heart. He learned rhythm by tapping his foot to songs, harmony by repeating choruses in the dark. Music didn't need approval or permission. It came when he needed it. In the small room, the only light coming from an old table lamp, Juan sat with his guitar missing a tuning peg. Every evening, he spent hours playing a short melody over and over again, sometimes just a few notes. There were no lyrics, no specific destination, just something to get him through another night. Sometimes the sound was wrong, sometimes the strings were out of place, but that didn't matter. Littlefield is a town where people are born, grow up, and die without ever leaving. But Juan never felt like he would stay there. When he heard that KAV, a small radio station in Lubbock, was looking for announcers, he took the bus to interview without telling anyone. It was the first opportunity close enough and real enough to try. Though he had never spoken on the air before, he impressed people with his calm, assured voice. He didn't try to sound good just enough, and it was that steadiness that made people listen. It was there that Juan met Buddy Holly, a young musician who was beginning to rise to prominence with the Crickets. Holly had the spotlight, the audience, the record deal, things Juan had never dared to dream of. But most of all, he had a clarity that left Juan speechless. Holly knew exactly where she was going and why. Juan wasn't jealous, just fascinated, because he saw in Holly what he had always been searching for but never quite named. Not success, but confidence in his choices, decisiveness in his steps. For the first time, Juan thought maybe he They worked together on a few radio recording sessions and quickly became close friends. Holly asked Juan to play bass for the winter tour of 1959, not because Jennings was the best bassist, but because Holly needed someone he could trust. They hit the road together, traveling through the Midwest in the middle of a freezing winter on buses with broken heaters and unstable sound equipment. The tour schedule was tight. The weather was harsh. After several nights of delays due to broken cars, Buddy Holly decided to charter a small plane to fly to Minnesota first. How do you think Waylon Jennings' musical legacy influenced? It would be quicker and easier, Jennings thought, when faced with a last-minute choice. He planned to fly with Holly and the other musicians, but there were limited seats on the plane. JP, the Big Bopper Richardson, was feverish, shivering, and exhausted from several nights of touring. Juan, out of friendship and a little fatigue, gave up his seat to Bopper without hesitation. It was a small change, an act of kindness, and a fateful turn. The next morning, the plane Juan Jennings didn't say a word when he heard the news. He was silent, didn't cry, didn't ask questions, just retreated into silence as if something inside him had gone down with the plane. It's said that the night before they parted, Holly joked, "Didn't your bus freeze?" And Jennings, without thinking much of it, replied, "I hope your plane didn't crash." That casual remark later became a heavy anchor, dragging his mind down with guilt for years. He never spoke of it again, nor sang Holly's songs on stage. But as everyone in the music world knows, that wound never. Jennings continued to make music toured, but since that fateful day, he only traveled by bus. Not because he was afraid of heights, but because for him airplanes were a symbol of an inconsolable loss. He never spoke of his obsession, but people felt it in his eyes in the silence between stories. Though he never sang about Holly, the image of his old friend was still present in his guitar, in the way Juan defended what he believed. Buddy Holly was the first person to make him believe that music was the real path. And when Holly left that path, no longer sparkled. In the 1960s, Juan began to transition from supporting to lead. He signed with RCA, a major Nashville label, and began releasing his first solo albums. But as he moved deeper into the music industry, he felt increasingly out of place. The things that had made him love music, genuineness, freedom, and individuality, were replaced by formulas, templates, and marketing strategies. Nashville was not a creative hub, but a factory where everything was calculated to sell. Singers didn't pick the songs, didn't have input on arrangements, and sometimes didn't even know who played on their albums. For Juan, the same studio band played on every album day after day, year after year. Each track was molded, edited to fit the radio format, clean, easy to listen to, but soulless. Juan didn't fit that mold. He didn't want to wear a suit, wouldn't sing to a beat, and hated having to express emotions he didn't truly feel. He flatly rejected pre-selected songs if they didn't speak to him. Juan's rebellion didn't come from impulse, but from a fierce desire for honesty. He couldn't sing a song he didn't believe in. In a later interview, when he was already an icon, he said, "I didn't rebel to impress. I rebelled because I didn't know any other way to be authentic." The tension between Juan and RCA simmered for years. Although he recorded at the label's studio, he quietly remixed the mixes at home, a bold move that showed his determination. Once, he offered to produce an album entirely from song selection to recording to mixing. When the label refused, he got up and left the studio mid-session without saying a word. It wasn't just a grievance, it was a declaration of how Juan wanted. Things really changed in the early 1970s when Jennings renegotiated his contract with RCA. This time, he demanded total control over his music, from song selection to band selection to sound engineering. RCA reluctantly agreed with little hope of success, but Jennings knew what he wanted. In 1973, he released Honky Tonk Heroes, a completely different album, raw, and unheard of in Nashville at the time. The songs were written by Billy Joe Shaver. Honky Tonk Heroes was a powerful attack on the overly polished and controlled music industry. Its raw sound, raw emotion, and creative freedom made it the spark that ignited the outlaw country movement. Jennings, along with Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, and Chris Christopherson, became the face of a new generation of country artists, one who didn't follow the beaten path, one who didn't play by the system. They wrote their own music, performed their own songs, and sang about what they believed in. It wasn't just music, it was rebellion with a purpose. Juan Jennings doesn't sing better than anyone else, but he sings what he believes in a way that only someone who has lived it can. In an industry that favors formality, his sincerity and raw instincts are a powerful breath of fresh air. Wanted. The Outlaws is not just an album, but a manifesto for a movement. Music must start with people not in the boardroom. The resounding success that has To cope with the intensity of the work, he began looking for something to keep him awake. First, it was amphetamines, the drug many artists of the time used to run shows. Then came cocaine, fast, strong, easy to hide, effective. Jennings admitted he never really liked cocaine, but it worked. It helped him maintain his voice, keep up with the schedule, and get through the day. Gradually, it became indispensable. There were no loud riots or acts of vandalism, but Jennings was addicted. Jennings used drugs discreetly, always away from cameras and audiences. He used them in locked rooms, where he could only use his music. But his dosage increased from a few lines a night to spending as much as $1,500 a day on cocaine. Much of the drug was routed through his assistant, who later became a key figure in a federal investigation. In 1977, the DEA tracked down a package sent to the recording studio where Jennings was working. A search warrant arrived unexpectedly in the middle of a recording session. They found white powder, there were witnesses, there were tapes. With the results, it seemed as if Jennings's career was over, but thanks to a good lawyer, procedural errors, and the silence of his team, he escaped punishment. The case was closed, but it left a lasting mark. Jennings continued to perform and record, but his inner strength was no longer what it had been. His health gradually declined, and his voice became hoarse, lost resonance, and became uneven. He canceled several shows due to exhaustion. His new music lacked the emotion that had once captivated audiences. Although tickets were still being sold and auditoriums were packed, Jennings's gaze had changed, no longer sharp, no longer the arrogance that had been his trademark. Lethargy gradually replaced passion, and the shows became more burdensome than liberating. Jennings's wife, Jessie Coulter, tried many times to pull him out of the hole. They separated for a time when her In silence, she became the last gatekeeper between Jennings and the abyss. No condemnation, no abandonment, just waiting and hoping he would return. The drug battle was not public. No grand declaration, just quiet efforts that lasted for years. And in the end, it was Coulter's love and perseverance that was the only thing strong enough to sway Jennings. After more than 2 decades of struggle, he decided to quit. No noise, no media, no theatrics. Just a tired man finally admitting he was out of control. He apologized, promised to change, and then returned to the stage as if nothing had happened. Juan Jennings quit cocaine in 1984, but by then, much of the damage had been done. Decades of heavy smoking, substance abuse, and a voracious diet had silently destroyed his body. Jennings was at one point smoking 6 packs a day. He rarely left the studio or backstage without a cigarette between his fingers. Quitting drugs was a turning point, but cigarettes lingered longer. Littlefield, Texas. Red dust covered the It wasn't until 1988 that he quit smoking completely, but by then his heart was beyond saving. That same year, Jennings underwent coronary artery bypass surgery. The operation addressed a serious blockage, but it also marked the beginning of a decline in his health that lasted more than a decade. In the years that followed, Jennings was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, a slow, progressive disease that gradually reduces his mobility and quality of life. His health deteriorated rapidly in the late 1990s. Touring became less frequent, then stopped altogether. In 2000, he underwent surgery to improve circulation in his left leg to prevent tissue death. But by December 2001, doctors were forced to amputate Jennings' left foot due to complications from his diabetes that had progressed so far. The surgery was performed in Phoenix. While medically necessary, it was a clear sign that his body was no longer able to sustain his desire to return to the stage. Juan Jennings died on February 13, 2002, at his home in Chandler, Arizona. Although Tommy Price's life was short, his musical legacy will live on forever. His rhythms will continue to resonate in the hearts of fans and future generations of music lovers. From Tommy's career, we can learn a valuable lesson about perseverance, passion, and dedication to the arts. He is proof that while life may be temporary, what we create can transcend time and continue to impact those around us. That sentence later became a silent prophecy. Tommy Price was not only a talented drummer, but also a symbol of dedication, someone who lived fully for music and left behind an eternal legacy. His drumming will forever be a part of rock music history, continuing to inspire generations of artists who will follow in the path he paved. His legacy is not just in the powerful rhythms, but also in the spirit of hard work and relentless passion, qualities that allow music to transcend time and space. head. His world was not built by theory. Juan couldn't read music. Alex Wallau, the legendary boxing commentator for ABC, passed away at the age of 80 on October 10th after a long and courageous battle with throat cancer. The illness could not stop him from dedicating himself to the sport he loved. Diagnosed in 1987, Wallau fought through his illness and returned to commentary just 6 months after treatment, a clear testament to his resilience and the deep passion he had for boxing. Each note was an affirmation that he still school didn't. Throughout his career, Alex Wallau was not just a commentator, but also a symbol of perseverance and determination, someone who conveyed the emotions and spirit of each match to the audience. His career at ABC began in 1976, and from then on he became one of the most recognizable faces in boxing events. He was not only a source of information, Wallau accompanied some of the biggest names in boxing, helping bring the sport closer to audiences through exciting matches and in-depth analysis. His straightforward personality sometimes led to conflicts with fighters and organizers, but this only added to his prominence and the respect he earned in the industry. Beyond his contributions to boxing, Wallau was also a key figure in the development of the television industry, particularly in helping expand the reach of sporting events and entertainment through the growth of Disney+. He won 2 Emmy Awards, a testament to his significant contributions to the fields of television and sports. Despite always being in the spotlight in his career, Wallau maintained a heart full of passion for his craft and an unwavering dedication to the profession he pursued throughout his life. Alex Wallau was not only a skilled boxing commentator, but also a model of courage and perseverance. Even in the face of illness and numerous challenges in life, he always overcame them. Dame Jilly Cooper, the renowned British author, passed away at the age of 88 on October 5th, leaving behind an indelible literary legacy. Cooper was widely known for her Rudder Chronicles series featuring the legendary character Rupert Campbell Black, a symbol of dramatic stories filled with love and conflict. Born in London in 1937, she started her career as a journalist before transitioning into novel writing. Cooper's literary career not only sparked a major wave among readers, but also left a deep mark on the television industry when her series was recently adapted into the Cooper was a monument in British literature, particularly known for her deeply layered stories that blend complex relationships, passionate romances, and intense struggles between characters. The Rudder Chronicles series, though filled with dramatic and sizzling moments, always carries a message about humanity, societal relationships, and at times reflects contemporary social. Although she has passed, the legacy of Dame Jilly Cooper will forever live on in the hearts of readers and future generations. Her works have stood the test of time, existing not only through her books, but also through their adaptations into television, allowing the messages and inspiration from her stories to reach a wider audience. Rivals, the TV series adapted from the Rudder Chronicles, is a clear testament to the enduring nature of her literary legacy. From her, we can learn many valuable lessons about leaving a mark in the field we are passionate about. Jilly Cooper proved that creativity knows no bounds, and with hard work and persistence, creative dreams can become a reality. Her works not only bring joy, but also offer profound lessons about humanity and timeless values in life. Leaving a legacy is not just about the work one has done, but also about how those works continue. Ike Turner Jr., the son of legendary icons, Tina Turner and Ike Turner Sr., passed away at the age of 67 on October 4th, marking the loss of a talented heir to a great musical legacy. Born into a family with a prominent musical heritage, Ike Jr. followed in the footsteps of his parents, not only as a musician, but also as a talented producer, making significant contributions to the development of blues and rock music. Widely known for his live performances and contributions to music, Ike Turner Jr. had carved out his own place in the music world while preserving and evolving his family's musical tradition with his unique style. He won a Grammy in 2007 for Best Traditional Blues Album with his father Ike Turner Sr.'s album Rising with the Blues. This was a significant milestone in Ike Jr.'s career, proving his talent and unwavering dedication to music, while carrying the legacy of his legendary rock musician parents. Works continued from supporting to lead. He signed with RCA, a major Nashville label. Ike Turner Jr. still managed to carve out his own path, continuously evolving the blues and rock genres in his unique way. He showed respect for the past, while also leaving his personal mark on music, turning each of his works into an integral part of the Turner family's legacy. Although he inherited immense talent, Ike Jr. didn't live in the shadow of musical legends. He created his own distinctive style. He organized emotionally charged performances that blended traditional elements with fresh creativity, captivating millions of fans. Edited to fit the radio format, clean, easy to listen to, but soulless. He was also a creative musician, always seeking ways to refresh the blues and rock melodies, bringing them closer to a modern audience. Ike Jr. not only continued the legacy of his parents, but also evolved it in a new direction, taking the Turner family's music to new heights. From the life and career of Ike Turner Jr., we learn a valuable lesson about respecting the past while continually searching for and creating our own path forward. Another way to be authentic. The tension between Juan and RCA simmered for years. Although he recorded at the label, the Turner family's legacy has become an integral part of music history, and Ike Jr. kept those values alive while leaving his own unique mark on the music industry. By blending tradition with personal creativity, Ike Jr. proved that no matter how grand a legacy may be, every artist has the ability to contribute to music in their own way, creating memories and legacies that will last forever. Jennings renegotiated his contract with RCA. If you agree with the points in the video, leave a number 1 in the comments below. If you have a different opinion or don't agree, feel free to leave a number 0. We'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback on today's topic. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, share it so your friends can watch, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any exciting videos and interesting content coming up. Thank you for watching and supporting the channel. It was a powerful attack on the overly polished and controlled music. Melissa Ellen Gilbert, born on May 8, 1964 in Los Angeles, California, was a renowned television star of the 1970s, best known for her role in Little House on the Prairie, an iconic family television series. Adopted just one day after birth by Barbara Crane and Paul Gilbert, both of whom worked in the entertainment industry, Melissa was introduced to the arts early on, nurturing her creative ability. However, her life was not always smooth sailing, with major challenges such as the pain of not knowing her biological parents, a factor that deeply impacted her throughout her formative years. Melissa's career began when she was very young, making her first appearance in commercials at the age of 2. Her appearances in advertising campaigns introduced her to the world of show business, and under her mother's guidance, Melissa quickly became a familiar face on screen. The resounding success that has brought controlled music industry to cope with the The role of Laura Ingalls in Little House on the Prairie became an icon, helping her achieve success and win the affection of millions of viewers. Despite enduring a challenging life with 14-hour filming days and having to perform emotionally demanding scenes such as crying when her character accidentally causes the death of a friend, Melissa demonstrated her talent and resilience. Even though she faced many difficulties and obstacles throughout her life and career, Melissa always overcame them, from losing her adoptive father at the age of 11 to the pressure of early fame. Rooms where he could only use his music. She learned how to be patient and face rejection and competition in the industry, which strengthened her willpower and resilience to overcome all challenges. The important lesson Melissa leaves behind is the perseverance to learn from painful experiences, growing stronger, not only in her career, but also in life. After Little House on the Prairie ended, Melissa faced many challenges in transitioning from a child star to a mature actress. With the results, it seemed as if Jennings's career was over, but thanks to a good lawyer, procedural However, she excelled at this transition with challenging adult roles, such as in Splendor in the Grass 1981 and Blood Vows 1987. She not only reaffirmed her acting talent, but also expanded her career by taking on producing roles. These films showcased Melissa's remarkable development as she continued to innovate and seek new opportunities in the industry. In the 1990s and 2000s, Melissa not only continued acting, but also ventured into the field of production. His gaze had changed no. She is the founder of Half Pint Productions and has been involved in producing several notable TV films such as House of Secrets 1993 and Shattered Trust, The Sher Carney Story 1993, works that not only garnered attention for their engaging content but also reflected deep societal and family issues. This was an important step in Melissa's career, demonstrating her versatility and ability to reinvent herself in the entertainment industry. Not just a talented actress, despite the challenges and losses she faced in life, she has always maintained her passion and dedication to the arts. From Melissa, we learned that life isn't always easy, but with determination and perseverance, we can overcome any obstacle and achieve success. Moreover, Melissa teaches us how to preserve creativity and persistence in our work, even when confronted with changes or challenges in our careers. Melissa Gilbert. One of the standout actresses in American television, is not only known for her memorable roles, but also for her bravery in confronting deep societal issues. She has never shied away from tackling sensitive topics such as domestic violence, sexual abuse, and mental health in her performances. One of her most challenging roles was in Killer Instinct 1988, where she portrayed a real estate agent trapped in a dangerous relationship. Completely, but by then his heart was beyond saving. This role allowed her to explore complex psychological depths while showcasing her incredible strength and acting talent. Melissa continued to challenge herself with Chameleons 1989, an action film further solidifying her ability to break through genre barriers and enriching her diverse career. These career choices demonstrate Melissa's commitment to not being confined to a fixed image, but embracing new and challenging opportunities. Became less frequent, then stopped altogether. In 2000, he underwent surgery to improve circulation in his left leg to prevent. Gina Rosero, a model and renowned activist, has become a powerful symbol for the transgender community. She publicly came out as transgender in 2014 during a TED Talk, marking a pivotal moment not only in her career but also in her life. This decision to come out was not just a personal act, but also carried a strong message of acceptance and inclusion in society, especially within the fashion industry, where gender and appearance standards remain rigid. From a young age, Gina was acutely aware of her gender identity. At just 5 years old, she courageously shared with her mother that she was a girl despite her body still being male at the time. With the wonderful support of her family, Gina was given a solid foundation to continue her journey of self-discovery. However, for many years, she kept her past and transition journey hidden, unwilling to share it with colleagues and loved ones. The fear of how others would perceive and accept her led her to keep her story to herself until she felt strong enough to share it with the world. After undergoing gender-affirming surgery, Gina achieved the alignment between her appearance and gender identity that she had long desired. However, living in a body that she previously did not feel connected to remained a difficult struggle. This is why coming out as transgender was such a bold and significant step for Gina, not just a personal act, but a powerful message about the freedom to express oneself and the necessity of respecting and accepting others no matter who they are. When Gina decided to share her story, she did it not only for herself, but also for the transgender community. She used her platform to raise awareness and bring about change in the fashion industry, promoting equal opportunities for everyone, regardless of who they are. Gina became a prominent model in the industry, playing a significant role in expanding the concept of beauty, proving that confidence and identity are not dependent on gender or appearance. She is also an active advocate fighting for the rights of the transgender community and promoting inclusivity in all areas, from employment to creative opportunities in the fashion industry. Gina Rosero's story is a lesson in honesty and courage. She didn't just share her story to free herself, but to inspire millions of others, especially transgender individuals, helping them understand that they are not alone and that living authentically is a fundamental right for everyone. She also emphasizes that sharing personal stories, no matter how difficult, can bring about positive changes in society, helping to shift the way we perceive and treat the LGBTQ+ community. Today, Gina is not only a successful international model, but also one of the leaders in advocating for gender equality in the fashion industry. She is a trailblazer in breaking down traditional gender norms and fighting to create a fairer environment for transgender individuals and those in the LGBTQ+ community. The great lesson from Gina is that honesty and courage not only help us find personal freedom, but can also deeply impact society, opening up new opportunities for everyone. She is a living testament to the fact that when we dare to live authentically, not only do we transform ourselves, but society as a whole can change for the better. It's a powerful message that affirms acceptance and respect for differences as the key to building a more united and understanding community. Chanel West Coast, whose real name is Chelsea Chanel Dudley, is a multi-talented artist known not only as a rapper, but also as a famous actress, particularly through her roles on the television shows Rob Dyrdek's Fantasy Factory and Ridiculousness. With her unique style, Chanel's career has soared, proving that she is not just a pretty face in the entertainment world, but also a truly talented artist. However, like many other celebrities, her personal life has often been in the spotlight, sparking many rumors, including a major mix-up regarding her relationship with a fellow colleague. One of the rumors that caused quite a stir for Chanel was when she was rumored to be dating Lee Norris, the famous actor from Boy Meets World. This confusion stemmed from their strikingly similar appearances, especially when Chanel appeared in typical hip-hop fashion, while Lee Norris was well known for his role in popular television shows. The rumor quickly spread with fans and the media eagerly speculating about their relationship. However, the truth is that Lee Norris and Chanel had no relationship beyond being fellow celebrities in the entertainment industry, and the confusion was merely due to their physical similarities. Despite being caught up in this false rumor, Chanel handled the situation calmly and cleverly. She didn't allow the misinformation to affect her image. Instead, she chose to focus on continuing to build her career. Chanel focused on her work and passions, particularly music and acting fields in which she has tirelessly worked to improve. Instead of getting caught up in trivial stories, she remained steadfast in her goals and concentrated on developing the skills she loves. This is a savvy strategy demonstrating that when you work hard and maintain faith in yourself, external challenges cannot derail the path you've chosen. Throughout her career, Chanel has never hesitated to speak out on important social issues. She has frequently shared her views on transgender rights and the need for fair treatment of the LGBTQ+ community. Chanel has always emphasized that being transgender is a personal journey that deserves respect, not something to be joked about or ridiculed. She understands that sharing one's personal story and living authentically with one's identity is not easy, but doing so can have a positive impact, raising awareness in the community and helping others who are struggling to find recognition and acceptance. In an increasingly diverse society, standing up for oneself and using one's voice to create positive change is incredibly important. Chanel demonstrated this when facing invasions of privacy and misunderstandings from the public. She didn't let rumors affect her image or spirit. Instead, she used those challenges to foster conversations about acceptance and fairness for everyone, especially within the LGBTQ+ community. The lesson from Chanel West Coast serves as a reminder that staying true to yourself and not letting external factors shake your goals is the key to overcoming challenges in life. She has proven that when you stand firm in what you believe, whether it's pursuing your passion or protecting your personal identity, you can not only overcome rumors and societal pressures, but also inspire others. Sharing your personal story is not only a powerful act for oneself, but also a means to change society's perception, fostering empathy and understanding within the community. Chanel West Coast also teaches us that no matter who you are, what you do, or whether you're famous or not, confidence, determination, and the resolve to protect yourself will help you not only overcome difficulties, but also create a world around you filled with love and fairness. She is a role model for maintaining self-confidence and staying focused on your personal goals while not letting rumors and misunderstandings change the way you perceive yourself. Thank you for joining us on this journey to explore the courageous and inspiring stories of 10 stars who have crossed gender boundaries. These experiences not only reveal inner strength, but also remind us of the value of honesty and perseverance. Which story impressed you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so we can continue to discover more inspiring stories together.